Hi guys, welcome back to DeFi Daily. Today I want to take a moment to talk about the weird case of Tron. Because while the whole market was dumping, the Tron ecosystem, Tron DeFi ecosystem has been the only one to grow. And right now it is so close to the Binance Smart Chain that is in the second position. If the Binance Smart Chain has something like $1.13 billion, the Tron ecosystem has just something below the 5 billion. So it wouldn't be surprised to see the Tron ecosystem surpassing the Binance Smart Chain just in the next couple of weeks. But the point is, why it is happening? What is the driver that is pushing so much Tron? And most of all, there is some kind of opportunity that we can take into this environment, or it is better to stay away. And on the other side, is it everything clean and transparent, or there is something that is quite dubious, or at least quite unclear? We will discuss also about it. Just before to start, guys, remember that this channel is about educational content and nothing has to be intended as financial advice. And if you want to invest in anything, great, but always do research first. And if you're new to the channel, remember, guys, to subscribe. And if you enjoy this content, remember to leave a big thumbs up, drop a comment. It's just a small effort for you, but really means a lot to us. It can really help us to grow, to reach other people, and to spread this kind of content, helping other people to understand what's going on into this market. Okay, guys, let's start. So we were saying that the situation by Tron is quite weird. In order to understand, firstly, what are the reasons why we have seen the Tron ecosystem growing while, for example, the Binance Smart Chain were dumping, the first reason is related to the price of TRX. As you can see, if we try to check, for example, from Messari, the price change in the last couple of months, and more specifically from the beginning of the 2022, you will see that all the different assets, including Bitcoin that starting from January is below 57%, Ethereum almost 70%, BNB from Binance Smart Chain is going down by 55%, XRP 66%, Solana almost 80%, Polkadot 75%, and so on. The only one that is reacting quite well is Tron. TRX is just below 10% by the next couple of months from the beginning of this year. So 10% compared to the 70 or 60 that we have seen on other blockchains. So that's the first reason, because obviously one of the most important assets that is locked inside each ecosystem, it is the main token of that ecosystem. For example, into the Binance Smart Chain, a good portion of it is just BNB. On the other side, on Avalanche, it will be AVAX. On Solana, it will be SOL. So obviously, if the price of SOL is going down by 80%, also the total value locked, it is locked inside that blockchain, will going down. So that's the first reason why we are seeing the total value locked inside the Tron ecosystem is still quite decent and it's not dumping so much as other token has done. If we try to dig inside the Tron ecosystem, we will find that the main protocol is called Just Land, and it has something like 2.4 billion. This number is not so impressive, to be honest, because we have seen many protocols with this kind of amount. But if we try to dig inside, we will see that the numbers are quite weird. I was doing this exercise just before recording this video. And if we try to break down, so to understand which is the composition of this 2.5 billion, first of all, we will see that the main asset that is locked inside Just Land is USDC. And if we try to go down here, we will see that USDC has something like 1.08 billion that are locked into the protocol. But the point is that what I was wondering is, why should I lock so many USDC inside a protocol that in this moment is paying just 0.01% of pure APY, base APY on my USDC? So you are depositing them just for free. And what is even more weird is that on the other side, if the total supply is 2.6 billion, on the other side, the total borrow, so the amount of usage of these supplies is almost zero, because we have a ratio that is something like 1 to 15. So 15 is the total supply, and only 1, so 6%, 7% of the total supply, it is used to borrow. And that's quite weird. So it looks like that more than a money market, it is just like a big wallet where people are depositing assets without any clue. Because personally, but that's just my personal opinion, I would never deposit 1 billion of USDC if I don't have any kind of advantage. Why should I put at risk my funds just forget 0% of reward? And on the other side, neither if I'm using them to increase my exposure, because at the end of the story I'm just depositing, but I'm not lending anything. And that's something that, at least in my opinion, is quite weird, or at least surprising. I don't know, I haven't done an on-chain analysis, so I don't know who are the people that are behind, and with any probability it will be not so clear what are the main wallets and why they are doing so. But in any case, that's something that is peculiar that I wanted to share with you, because we are having a situation when someone, instead of keeping the funds into their wallet, that is something that is much more secure, because obviously in the moment when you are using any kind of protocol, this is something that is not applying only to just Land, but the same applies to any kind of protocol. It could be Aave, it could be Compound, it could be Curve, it could be Convex, or any other, whatever it is, your favorite protocol. In the moment when you are using a protocol, you are increasing also the risk. So obviously it makes sense to use any kind of protocol only if you have an advantage. It could be an APY, it could be increasing your exposure, using any kind of strategy. But in this case, it looks like that people are just depositing inside the protocol without any strategy, any goal of increasing APY. So it looks like that someone, instead of keeping them into its wallet, is using just Land as its own wallet. So that's the first reason why Tron is quite weird. On the other side, the other main drive that has been able to push the total level locked inside the Tron ecosystem so high is related to USDD. USDD is the stablecoin that has born as a copycat of USD, the stablecoin of the Terra ecosystem. But after the crash of USD and the Terra ecosystem, the USDD has changed, has pivoted from a system that was a fully algorithmic stablecoin to something that is much more a fully backed stablecoin, or better, an over-collateralized, decentralized stablecoin. Here you can find also what are the different assets that are kept by the foundation that is behind, that is managing this project. If you want to know more about USDD, I also made a full video where I was talking about the different phases that this project will go through. You can find it through this link into the right corner here. Just to summarize what I was saying into that video, the reality is that in this moment we are talking about stablecoin that is not decentralized, because only a few players are having the power to mint this stablecoin. So personally, I really don't like the way they are managing it. On the other side, it is also undeniable that this stablecoin, it is the only one that is offering into this market condition a so high APY. Because, for example, if you try to check down here, you will see different kind of protocols and pairs that are paying you quite a lot. We are going from 10% to 30% of APR. So something is quite juicy, quite interesting for a stablecoin that overall has been able to maintain the peg. Right now we are almost at the peg back. We are around 0.991. And as you can see, we have been able to recover from 0.93. It is still unclear what is the strategy by the foundation, by the organization that is behind USDD in order to maintain the peg. Because they has been declaring that they have a large treasury that is much beyond 1 billion. But on the other side, they haven't been using it. Because as you can see, the price, yes, has recovered, but it was taking quite a long time. Probably, or at least that's a possibility, they prefer not to invest all the money, not to use all the money, to always have the opportunity to go step by step. They rather prefer to having a longer period when they are staying below the peg instead of having all their treasury that has been barred, exactly as we have seen with USDT. Unfortunately, the major problem with USD was that in not even a couple of hours, in not even a couple of days, the Luna Foundation Guard has barred the whole treasury that was backing the USD. And in that moment, there was anymore nothing that was able to defend the peg in the moment when we were talking about USD. So that could be a reason why USDD has been so slow to recover the peg. In any case, if you want to use the USDD, that's something that could be an opportunity because that's undeniable that the APY is really high. On the other side, pay attention and don't go all in, because always diversify. Remember that even if it is over collateralized, the way and the only word that in my opinion is completely wrong is this transparency, because when we are talking about Tron, not so much is so transparent, or at least in my opinion. If I'm wrong, if you see any other reason, for example, why this number here is 1 billion without any advantage, or at least as it appears, or why they haven't been using the resources to get the peg back in time, or anything else that is increasing the transparency of this protocol, or for example, why we still don't have any real roadmap on when all the people will be able to participate to the arbitrage, because at this point looks like that only a few people, a few institutional people that are behind this project. So it really looks like more a centralized stablecoin instead of a decentralized one. Guys, let me know what you think about USDD, and most of all, what do you think about Tron? Will it be able to keep this run up? Because remember that in order to mint 1 USDD, what is needed is to burn TRX, so the coin of Tron. And in the moment when you are burning TRX, you are also reducing the supply. And while you are reducing the supply, this is something that is an asset in order to increase the price of TRX, or at least to sustain it. And that's also the reason why we have seen here that in the last couple of months, in the last 6 months, TRX has been one of the few that has been able to grow while the whole market was dumping. Guys, let me know what you think. Let me know it through the comment section below. Remember, if you enjoyed this content, remember to leave a big thumbs up, drop a comment, and if you're new, obviously subscribe to the channel. And if you want to stay always updated, remember to press the ring bell button, and I will see you tomorrow again with another video. Bye, guys.